I greet my viewers. We will have a liberal message from such an outstanding politician like me, Armin Akhujan. Actually, today I want to cover, give coverage, progressive coverage at least, to the speech of Republican presidential candidate, Mr. Mitt Romney, in Tampa, Florida. So yesterday, Mr. Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney decided to, to engage in his conventional, his nomination speech, though it, contains some delirium, and sometimes he, presidential candidate Mitt Romney, was actually pretty aggressive in terms of attacking the record of Democrat President Obama. First of all, Mitt Romney, Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney, said that he actually had much more fun playing his iPad when his vice presidential candidate, House Representative Paul Ryan. Well, actually, what I believe was irrelevant remark, and didn't belong much to his nomination speech. And in the second, presidential candidate Mitt Romney, he's a right-wing extremist, and I believe that he actually only his conservative base will support his actually political campaign, and I don't believe that independent will support his political campaign. As independent polls like nationalpoll.com website maintains that President Barack Obama has a single-digit lead over Republican candidate Mitt Romney. You see, Mitt Romney is a reactionary Republican candidate. He's not progressive like when he was Massachusetts governor, when he supported rights of women to have reproductive freedom, and nowadays he opposes right of women to have reproductive freedom, and calls himself severely conservative governor of Massachusetts. He used to be. Well, if that guy wants to actually quote hearts and minds of American conservatives, well, he actually cut off his air supply, from the rest of American public. He actually did everything in his mind, in order to shove away the independent voters, and I believe his speech was full of empty promises, like he promised to create 2.5 million jobs in that gas and oil exploration industry or renewables, but he opposes government involvement in creating jobs. So therefore, he won't be able to create jobs. Except he is up to cutting taxes to wealthy, to corporations. That's what his main agenda is. He also told the public that his corporation, Bain Management Corporation, was headed by 9 investors, and practically this equity firm was upfront for money laundering, which he denied vehemently. But with secret accounts in the Cayman Island, Switzerland Bank, USB, and Bahamian banks, it's another reminder that Mitt Romney made everything to keep those endowment funds and wealth investors and hedge funds, away from American Internal Revenue Service. And I believe that the accounts of Bain Management should be investigated. It's no boon to American public to have a company that does money laundering. And it very much look like Italian Commissione, like that map company, upfront for money laundering, and not a much of a capitalist company. What kind of successful record is this? If let's say Bain Management used to buy up and shut down and chop up, and all those industrial firms in the Midwest and the Rust Belt, like M product, MPEC, like MPEC, which actually was gutted. This company was gutted, and its asset was sold away, and its account was gutted for cash, and the company was shut down because Mitt Romney wanted to simply rip off with industrial firm and steal his funds. So that in case of Mitt Romney trying to give American public a positive image, he actually lacks very much rational grain. And the Liberal Democrats, I call for American public to vote for President Obama. He's a Democrat who's responsible, who's supposed to implement his progressive agenda to create more jobs, government involvement by government creating more jobs, laundering small businesses, giving orders to small businesses to actually to create subcontractor jobs. And because of Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney is actually reactionary. He opposes right of reproductive freedom. He opposes abortion. So the Republican Party is party anti-abortionist. We are not a life party, life party. This party that simply will take away the rights of American women to have abortion and won't give American women any leeway. Will refuse American women or men to have same-sex marriage. This party are conservative, and this is means no good for American workers, and they don't care if people go unemployed because they claim only God should help people, and no government. And Republican Party next time showed that it's anti-government sentiment. It's very much against the people of the United States of America, and actually is a right-wing extremist representative, Texan representative, House representative, Mr. Ron Paul, declared he wanted declared his mafia, delivered his narco-mafia agenda, that he wanted to repeal all the drug laws and wanted to add the Fed. So that, in his own words, therefore, Mr. Ron Paul is a right-wing extremist, and it is true that Republican Party they practically supports his anti-government agenda and neo-fascist agenda, and I believe that the Republican Party will lose its votes real big way, real big way, will lose in November. This year, because it actually wanted to repeal all the drug laws and wanted to end the Fed. Therefore, some members of the Republican Party are in the pocket of narco mafia. They are being financed by narco mobsters and like those Italian mafia and stuff like that. Because you see, even Bain Management was formed by narco mobsters and as a money laundering operation, and should be investigated by federal agencies as a criminal organization. And actually, in the second, Mitt Romney was trying to conduct some cold war against Russia. He lied to the public that Democratic President Barack Obama gave away American interests and allowed to dismantle American middle-range missiles in Eastern Europe. American President Democrat Obama never did that. He still supports the idea that American middle-range missiles should be stationed in Eastern Europe, especially in Poland and Czechoslovakia, as members of NATO, because they would be able to defend Europe against Iranian middle-range missiles. As Iran is an aggressive neo-fascist country, which likes to shoot missiles and attack European countries. Well, actually, besides that, Mitt Romney wasn't particular boom for anybody, and the Republicans even learned to oppose government spending, and its most bright representative, second sex is Governor Nikki Haley, simply waged a war against unions. And I believe that Republicans is simply neo-fascist, and we're united by the anti-government sentiment, by the escapist sentiment against unions. And I believe that this party of social conservative and the neo-fascist, actually, not only social, but neo-fascist. And I believe most Christians will oppose with neo-fascist lousy Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney, and will vote for Barack Obama, because Mr. Barack Obama is a progressive Democrat, and he's going to implement a progressive agenda, and he's going to create more jobs by creating more jobs and in the government sector, and contracting small firms, small businesses, in order to have create subcontractor jobs. That's the way Democrats create jobs. And Republicans don't have a real plan to create any job, because they reject government involvement in creating jobs, first of all. Therefore, we won't be able to create jobs, and cutting taxes won't create any job whatsoever. And this is supply side kind of failure that will work at the same time for not for only Republicans, but for Democrats as well. If Democrats decided to cut taxes for companies that create business here, it won't create no new jobs, but it will make American workers hostages of those precarious and very dubious right-wing politics of cutting taxes to corporations, which I oppose vehemently. And also, I believe that Republican candidate was simply a right-wing extremist and white supremacy, that he wished President Obama to succeed. And I believe President Barack Obama lied to public when he said that Mr. Barack Obama removed American missiles from Eastern Europe, and he also lied to the public when he wanted to make a more Cold War and make Russian President Vladimir Putin feel more concern and more personal distress or something like that. And he was very mean-spirited about it, particularly. And something like so that I believe that Republican Party neo-fascist and anti-immigrant party as well, as Republicans refuse to any amnesty for illegal aliens. And Democrats are ready to implement some limited amnesty for those 11 million illegal aliens that work obviously at American plants and factories, and will give them at least right to work for 1 year, temporary work cards. And I believe that those work cards, those illegal aliens will be able to compete with American workers honestly. Otherwise, American workers are put in a dishonest situation, and we're being competed against by illegal aliens who work below minimum wage earnings, and therefore ruin all the chance of American workers have a decent job. So therefore, President Obama should actually declare some limited amnesty towards millions of undocumented working aliens, non-criminal aliens. And also, President Obama, I believe, should establish living minimum wage of $10 an hour in order to make American business prosper. Because right now that minimum wage of $7.25 per hour is actually insufficient for American business to succeed at all, and to American workers to maintain a decent way of life. And I believe that President Obama shouldn't engage in anti-working class sentiment, and instead should raise tax against corporations, at least 50% wealthy corporations in order to create new jobs, in order to eliminate budget deficit. And like in Bill Clinton's era, where actually ex-President Bill Clinton decided to raise taxes against wealthy corporations and wealthy individuals up to 90%, and actually managed to cover budget deficit, even created budget surplus. The policies of ex-President Bill Clinton, who refused to cut taxes to corporations, is another reminder that with progressive politics of raising taxes against corporations and wealthy individuals, should actually help economy and and should actually cover budget deficit, eliminate budget deficit, and any attempts to cut taxes to corporations is now give way to wealthy and privileged, and should be actually stopped, I believe. And most American Democrats will support my agenda of raising taxes against corporations and wealthy individuals, because I know that at least national polls say that 56% of Americans support raising taxes against the wealthy. But you can hear with the dean of people, Republican and delegates at the Tampa, Florida convention. So let me introduce to some of the raw deal of Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney. Yeah, here to the dean. Here to it. Republican presidential.
I began my presidency with a jobs tour. President Obama began his presidency with an apology tour. America, he said, had dictated to other nations. No, Mr. President, America has freed other nations from dictators.
Here, Republican President Mitt Romney made one interesting point that America freed our country of dictators. Yeah, it actually this one he was quite right, but he had moments of truth. In terms of immigration, it's a very anti-immigrant politician, neo-fascist, who wants to illegalize to self-deport.
And SEAL Team 6 took out Osama bin Laden.
Well, there was no pictures of Osama bin Laden being taken out.
On another front, every American is less secure today because he has failed to slow Iran's nuclear threat. In his first TV interview as president, he said we should talk to Iran. We're still talking, and Iran's centrifuges are still spinning. President Obama has thrown allies like Israel under the bus, even as he has relaxed sanctions on Castro's Cuba. He abandoned our friends in Poland by walking away from our missile defense commitments.
This is outright lies.
But he's eager to give Russia's President Putin the flexibility he desires after the election.
Our president didn't give him
Russian
influence.
And Mr. Putin will see a little less flexibility and more backbone.
Not against his hate mongering. And impudent lies is an instrument of Republican policy.
We will honor America's democratic ideals because a free world is a more peaceful world. This is the bipartisan foreign policy legacy of Truman and Reagan. And under my presidency, we will return to it once again.
So, what is actually proposed bipartisan politics of waging a Cold War?
You might have asked yourself if these
Maybe.
last years are really the America we want. The America that was won for us by the greatest generation. Does the America we want borrow $1 trillion from China? Does it fail to find the jobs that are needed for 23 million people and for half the kids graduating from college? Are those schools lagging behind the rest of the developed world? And does America that we want succumb to resentment and division among Americans? The America we all know has been a story of the many becoming one, uniting to preserve liberty, uniting to build the greatest economy in the world, uniting to save the world from unspeakable darkness. Everywhere I go in America, there are monuments that list those who have given their lives for America. There's no mention of their race, their party affiliation, or what they did for a living.
Well, if Mitt Romney gets elected, we'll probably have more people give him their lives, exactly, as a sacrifice to his imperialist policies.
They lived and died under a single flag, fighting for a single purpose. They pledged allegiance to the United States of America. That America,
There's so many
that
agendas.
united America, can unleash an economy that will put Americans back to work, that will once again lead the world with innovation and productivity, and that will restore every father and mother's confidence that their children's future is brighter even in the past.
Mitt Romney doesn't have
Have
any real plan to create jobs.
that's so strong, no nation would ever dare to test it. That united America will uphold the constellation of rights that were endowed by our Creator and codified in our Constitution.
So, actually, only God will have people.
That united America will care for the poor and the sick, will honor and respect the elderly, will give a helping hand to those in need. That America is the best within each of us. That America we want for our children. If I'm elected President of these United States, I will work with all my energy and soul to restore that America, to lift our eyes to a better future. That future is our destiny. That future is out there. It is waiting for us. Our children deserve it. Our nation depends on it. The peace and freedom of the world require it. And with your help, we will deliver it. Let us begin that future for America tonight. Thank you so very much. May God bless you. May God bless the American people. And may God bless the United States of America.
Empty-handed Mitt Romney came up only with blessing, but it's not in a social kind of situation where he, adds too much religion to American politics, but actually won't help him. Actually, Mitt Romney is a civilly conservative politician, but actually shoves away all independent votes. But in my opinion, liberal opinion, that President Obama made a mistake. Let's cut taxes for people who make up to $250,000. He should cut taxes only to people up to $100,000. Because people make $100,000 on an individual basis as a liquid income are plain rich. They are not middle class. And where President Obama unfortunately makes a great mistake in that politics of cutting taxes. Because right-wing extremism has supply-side economics, to do that, especially for wealthy, not for middle class. Middle class make less than $100,000, and shouldn't, uphold the interests of wealthy who make more than $100,000. For instance, in Los Angeles City, there was a large show with neo-fascist Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa, who claims he's a Democrat, really falsely. But actually, they would pay $278,000 to some engineers, which is money laundering, in my opinion. This is not a big, it's an egregious payoff to Mafia. This is outrageous. Wages should be under $50,000 to those engineers, not $278,000. And believe if they elect me as a for Los Angeles City Council member, I definitely will eliminate wasteful spending and cut down wages of those engineers triple-fold, because excessive burden for taxpayers, for Los Angeles taxpayers. So therefore, excessive wasteful spending should be dealt with, especially in Los Angeles City. where with neo-fascist mayor Antonio Villalagos decided to pay, to do money laundering by paying excessive wages to city engineers at the amount of $278,000. And I believe this money should be actually investigated by federal authorities, because actually Mayor Antonio Villalagos simply created excessive wages which will go to narco mafia, I believe, one way and another. And corrupt influence of narco mafia on American politics should be stopped, and I believe federal agencies have a right to fight with corruption in American politics. For one is forearmed. If Republican representatives want to add to Fed actually forewarned, and will try to deal with neo-fascists will try to take them on. And I believe we have more actually federalist influence in the United States than President Obama or President or Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney may mention. Also, Republican was uncaring about rights of women, especially with Ann Romney, with actually libertarian wife of the Republican presidential candidate Mitt Romney. Also admitted that he actually loved women instead of championing women's rights to reproductive freedom, women's rights to actually to 6 months pre-pregnancy leave, as federal government. She champions her own sexual orientation of being a lesbian. This is outrageous. I believe that the Republicans shouldn't be so selfish, egoistical, neo-fascist prick. And Bain Management has been founded by about 8 people who were actually narco-mobsters. And I believe Fed should investigate with Bain Management because all the investors are very dubious, wise girl kind of wise girls style narco-mobsters. And simply a Republican presidential candidate is up front for narco mafia. Because it's La Commission kind of thing that runs Bain Management. Now, hopefully, that you go to nationalpoll.com and view standing of President Obama in polls. And I believe President Obama will make sure that he will conduct progressive politics. Like he repealed Defense of Marriage Act and established equal rights of gays and lesbians, of homosexuals and lesbians, to serve in the American military. So give me your feedback. Call my phone number 323-445-1600 or give me email on my freeliberal@toflink.net website. It can be webmail. So therefore I'll be waiting for your remarks. And hopefully you will support me my political bid to get elected as a progressive Democrat to Los Angeles City Council.